Women are powerful creators. The AlignWomen podcast features female entrepreneurs, leaders, and other professional women who've demonstrated agency and innovation in their personal and professional lives. I'm your host, Amy Evans. I have authentic, intimate conversations with my guests that highlight their paths to success, their struggles and accomplishments, and the things that currently excite, motivate, and inspire them to turn their visions into reality. Welcome to the AlignWomen podcast. I'm Amy Evans, your host and the founder of AlignWomen, a leadership and networking organization for professional women. This podcast features female entrepreneurs, leaders, and other professional women who've demonstrated agency and innovation in their personal and professional lives. Today, I'm really excited to have Dr. Barbara Provost. She's the founder of Purse Strings, LLC. She's a doctor of adult and higher learning. She's an entrepreneur. She's a podcast host. And my favorite thing about her is she's a passionate advocate for women who want to be financially fearless. Welcome to the podcast, Barbara.
Thank you so much, Amy. I'm honored to be here.
So women in finances is one of my very favorite topics. I had a podcast guest on who was a CPA early in my podcast career, and she said something that struck me and still gives me goosebumps when I repeat it. She said, when women understand their finances, they have choices. And that is so resonant for me in my own life and in what I have observed in terms of women feeling empowered to do the things that they want to do. So tell me why you started Purse Strings. What was the need that you saw and what motivated you to build a solution to that need?
I do not sell any financial products or services, but I did consult in the insurance and financial industry for 20 plus years, building educational content, working with a lot of sales producers and leadership. And what I saw during that whole time, Amy, was that women were an overlooked market. I could see it in the marketing materials that had a white male and a white female skipping down the beach with a little boy and a little girl. And I remember holding that up to a friend of mine and she said, "Yeah, I just got divorced. That makes me mad." Or I could see it in the linear sales process. Get a suspect, make them a prospect, go through your whole sales process and make a sale at the end. And I thought, women don't really always buy that way. And I couldn't unsee it. It was everywhere I looked. And I'd consistently bring it to management and say, I think you're really missing a market here. They didn't see it the way I did. This, again, 25 years ago. I opened my own consulting business and consulted in lots of different financial agencies. I saw the same thing everywhere. They were really overlooking the market. So let's compound that with the fact that about 8 years ago, I was navigating a divorce with a group of other women. We were in this kind of divorce group, and I heard them say things like, "I'm not sure if I can afford this divorce. I don't know the cash in my household. I'm uncertain about life insurance." And I was thinking, these are some fundamental things that women at our age, smart, bright, educated women should know. And I'm curious as to why they don't know them. Of course, I was in the financial industry, so I was very familiar. And then I would run around on Saturday errands with my daughter, and I'd see these women of retirement age bagging my groceries, handing out little snacks at Costco. And I think, why are these women doing this work? Is it because they want to do this work, or is it because they have to do this work? So commissioned a researcher to do all the deep research to say, how is the insurance and financial industry helping or serving women, and how are women prepared for their financial future? And of course, the data came back that the insurance and financial industry wins the award as being the least sympathetic to women, and that women are woefully underprepared for their financial future. And I thought, this just validates everything that I'm experiencing and that I'm seeing in my work. So I went right to the horse's mouth. I facilitated a ton of focus groups, and I asked women, what's going on here? And the first thing they would tell me, Amy, is they don't even look at me.
Yeah.
And I thought, this has got to all stop. This stops with purse strings. And that's why, as an educator, I built a model where we provide women free online tools and resources, have them come to the table, ask their questions, learn some of the fundamentals of what they need to know to make good, smart, healthy financial decisions for themselves and their families. That only takes you so far. So then I looked across the landscape for top-tier financial professionals who want to serve women, understand the female market, know what women want from their financial professionals, and we promote those professionals to our vast communities of women so that now women have a one-stop destination for all things tools, resources, and a cadre of top-tier financial professionals who will work with them. And that's the purse strings model.
That makes me so happy. Having been in the insurance industry for 20 plus years, a lot of what you said resonates with me. Our industry, as a friend of mine put it, is male, pale, and stale.
Yep.
And is not serving a population that has increased their ability to generate income and their need to manage that income in the last, certainly since my mom's generation, certainly since the 70s, we're much more financially independent, but that doesn't mean we're necessarily financially knowledgeable.
You got it.
I love what you're doing. You also said something in some research that I was doing that really stuck with me. You said women are not a niche market. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so I talk to a lot of financial institutions about serving a female market, and oftentimes they'll say, we do have kind of this women's thing going on. And if you look at their website, it's 8 clicks down and it's a side, and sometimes it's pink. And I just think they don't get it. Women are 51% of the market, so they are not a niche market. They are your market. They're a $23 trillion underserved market, so they're highly valuable. And as you well know, Amy, we're coming into the largest transference of wealth in history as the baby boom era ages and retires. That money is being transferred to women. So they are not the niche market, they are the market. And so many financial institutions have not really adjusted, adapted, transitioned, made changes to really reflect that.
Am I hearing correctly in you describing the arc of how you got from the initial realization to the current effort with purse strings, that you went to the financial institutions and asked them to open up their understanding and their resources to serve this market. And you didn't get the response that you wanted from them. And so instead you built a tool that directly connects women who provide these services with women who need these services. So essentially you stopped banging your head against the wall again with the big boys, let's call them that, and said, fine, if you're not going to do the thing that we need, we're going to build a network of women who can provide what we need in the way that we need it, in the language that we need it, not all bedazzled and pink with a bow on it, but in the method that we need it, which the way that you were describing the sales process so resonates with me, because I've been in insurance for 20 plus years. I've been through a lot of sales training, and it's a lot of male sales training, not a lot about cultivating relationships, not about that connection that's so important to us in the way that we do business. Am I getting that correct? That you tried it with the traditional model, and the traditional model wasn't responding the way you wanted, even though you had all the data to say this is really important. And so instead you built a network of women to do what you wanted them to do.
Yes. Now, our network includes professionals who are male or female to serve a female market. But you nailed it. I can't tell you how many institutions I went to, and a colleague friend of mine said, Barb, they're not going to buy it. You just have to do it on your own. And I thought, gosh darn it, I'm going to have to go do this now. I'm going to have to build something to really help women, because I could not unsee how women were not prepared for their financial future. And not only that, women outlive their male spouse, so they're going to age with very expensive health and welfare oversight that they're going to need, and they don't have. If they're not coming to the table, if people are not looking them in the eye and really planning for her financial future. So it was just something I couldn't unsee, and I had to do, and I bootstrapped it all. I started from a seedling, and now today we are a full-blown organization.
That is so exciting. I love a story where a woman sees a need, looks for the thing to satisfy that need, realizes it doesn't exist, and then builds it. That entrepreneurial arc makes me really happy. So tell me about your membership. Tell me about your website. You gave a top line overview, but what resources can women find when they become a member of Purse Strings?
Sure. So women can come to Purse Strings. It's all free for them. That's another thing. Women are far behind, 82 cents on the dollars, lots of different ways that women are behind financially, carry the largest loan debt, things like that. So I wanted it to be free. That was part of our mission. So women can come to Purse Strings to get free their life and money guides. So they're on how to buy auto insurance, how to buy homeowners insurance. What do I need to know about life insurance, buying a house? So just very fundamental, elementary. What do I need to know going in? Because it's not something you do every day. So you don't know really the vernacular. You don't know what is it that you need or don't need. You don't want to overbuy. So it helps women just understand what's the process and what do I need to do. We also have a free course called Financial Foundations for Women. It walks you step by step through what's your money mindset around your money. Let's talk about how to create your own cash flow so you know what the cash flow is in your house. Let's talk about the B word, the budget word, the just being financially conscious about your money word, how to get out of debt. What are some snowball debt methodologies or avalanche debt methodologies that you can put in place? So all the foundations that women need. What we also do, Amy, is we have our financial professionals who are Purse Strings approved provide answers to your top questions that people ask. It's called Ask an Expert. So we tee up those questions that women often have, and they're already answered for you out there on our site. That's another resource. And then blogs and lots of different topics. We have blogs coming out from our different experts all the time on different topics that resonate with women. So it's a one-stop destination location for lots of those tools and resources.
That is fantastic. That is a resource I would have been grateful to have in my 20s and 30s when I was navigating, especially just getting a job and health insurance and a 401k and tax deductions and all of that stuff. And having someone to go to that I could trust to guide me would have been really valuable. Talk about the other end for a moment, because not only is this a resource for any woman who would like access to this information, but a lot of the women in my network are those professionals who might be interested in being a part of your network of experts who provide this information. So talk about what that experience is like for the professionals that are part of your network.
Great. Yes. So we look for top-tier financial professionals who are already serving a female market, understand the market, and really want to provide women what they need from their financial professional. And it's not everyone, Amy. I've been in enough financial classrooms and talked to enough financial professionals, and I've heard them say, I don't like working with women. They ask too many questions, or they take too long to make a decision. And I know why that is. And we teach that in a course that I have as well that you get as part of your membership on Reach, Engage, and Earn the Female Dollar. But for those who really understand the female market and know that when you work and serve women, you get 27 times more referrals than men do. So we love the value, we love service. So we look for those professionals who really want to work with the female market. And we cast a pretty wide net because, Amy, we look for women who are, maybe they're going through a divorce, maybe they're getting married, maybe they're buying a new home, a second home, maybe they're coming into a windfall. What's going on in your life where you have to make a financial investment, transaction, transition? You want to know, who can I go to? Who can I trust? That's what they ask me all the time. So we look for financial advisors, we look for realtors, we look for attorneys, a lot of financial coaches. So anyone that helps a woman in her financial question or concern. We look for those people, we bring them on, invite them to be Purse Strings approved, and then we promote them to our communities of women. We do it in lots of different ways. We're in front of a lot of Facebook groups where we do Facebook Lives every week. So we're in front of about potentially 15 to 20,000 women every week. We're in 50 plus in fabulous groups. We're in divorce groups. We're in lots of different groups with different segments. The other thing we do is we partner with other female-centric organizations. Two biggies are Leadership Global, which are female entrepreneurs across the globe at $5 to $10 million business owners. We're at Fem City, another popular one, where they looked at Purse Strings as, where can I go for financial professionals that are going to serve a female market? The other thing we do is we ask our professionals to tee up those Ask an Experts. When they give us the information, Q&As, we promote those out not only on our site, but throughout all of our social media, same with our blogs. So we're continually getting our financial professionals in front of their best customer and getting them in front of women so they know this group of top-tier financial professionals are here to serve women. If you ever go on our website and you look at the full web page that each professional gets, it's tailored to who they are, what they do. They can upload their own little welcome video. It outlines what are their specialties, what are their fees. So it's all very transparent. Even testimonials are on there. Any woman coming through our website and looking for a financial professional can get a really great picture on who this person is. And then one click right to the professional's either web page or scheduler. So anyone could go ahead and get on your calendar and make an appointment with you.
Oh, so fantastic. What an amazing resource you have put together.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your overall experience in this space and find out, based on what you've observed, what are some of the stigmas or limiting beliefs that you see that women face when it comes to finances?
Where do I begin? It's a money mindset. We talk a lot about that a lot. So growing up as young girls, a lot of times we were taught, you're not good with math, you're not good with money, you should don't take more than what you deserve. I just had this conversation on this fabulous book club that we have. And so many women had these messages told to them as young girls that really have stymied them in terms of feeling confident and competent around managing their money, about earning a lot of money, about having a lot of money. And it's really suppressed them. And so the first thing we need to overcome here at Purse Strings is telling women, it's okay to talk about money. And like I was telling you, our podcast is Women and Money, the shit we don't talk about. Because so many women, they don't want to talk about it. They feel that they are not knowledgeable enough to talk about it. Or they don't want to say, I'm going through a divorce, but I have all these money concerns. They don't want to share that. They feel very vulnerable about it. So just opening that conversation about money is the first step that we try to take with women. And that's why we're building this very open and welcome community.
That all makes sense. One of the things that you alluded to, you talked a lot about the negative experiences we have, or the fears that we have around challenges with money. But you also mentioned, and this is an experience that I have in my circle, the embarrassment that women have when they're successful. They're not comfortable talking about the fact that they had the best year ever in terms of revenue, or that they've doubled their income, or that it's amazing to me. It happens on both ends. It happens to the women that are struggling with money, and it happens to the women that are super successful and still feel like having that money conversation is awkward and uncomfortable and embarrassing and comes with some sort of stigma to it. It occurs to me as we're talking about this, maybe that's why we buy such fabulous handbags, because that's an acceptable social currency where we can say, I'm doing well. Here's my beautiful bag. And everybody's okay with that. But beyond that, it gets a little squishy. And I've noticed that with my circle of friends who tend to be super successful professional women.
Yeah, it's true. Women don't want to really talk about the money, and it comes from all those money mindsets. Today, a lot of mantras around money. Money comes to me freely. Money is a good thing. Money is powerful. And I will tell you, women control 95% of the financial decisions in the household. Women are powerful around money. Very powerful, and will continue.
Period.
Yes. And money is your power, and we need to start talking about it and making it a very good, healthy, positive conversation.
Yeah. My money mantra is, I love the energy of money, and the energy of money loves me. And
I love it.
Looking at money as energy, as an energy exchange, as being worth an exchange. If I'm providing a service, I deserve to get paid. That is the energy exchange that happens when I provide the service. That really helped me expand my relationship with money by treating it as energy as opposed to whatever else it was I thought of it before.
Yeah, I hear you. We all have to really reframe that thinking around money.
For sure. Tell me about your podcast.
We just launched it this year because so many women had said to me, Barb, you have such an important message. And the Facebook Lives are great, but you need a bigger vocal following. So I thought, yeah. And a friend of mine who said, you are really raising some issues that people are not talking about with money. So let's get you out there. And I'm like, yeah, it's the shit we never talk about. And she said, that's it. And money, the shit we don't talk about, because it's opening these vulnerable conversations. Yeah, we want women to feel comfortable talking about it. And so we are getting women on the podcast who are talking about the gray divorce, what happens with money around the gray divorce. We're talking about spousal IRAs and why every woman who's working from home or stay-at-home mom needs a spousal IRA. We're talking about those vehicles that women may not even know about that will benefit them.
So great. Where can people find you and where can people find your podcast?
Yeah, so podcast is on all of your podcasting outlets, Spotify or all the different places we're on there. Women and Money, the shit we don't talk about. And Purse Strings is pursestrings.co. That's our website. And all of our social media, we're on Insta, Twitter, we have a Facebook group, Facebook page. Everything is Purse Strings CO.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. We will list all of your contact information on the podcast webpage so that people can connect with you in whatever way they are comfortable. And I really appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Thank you so much. I love talking about purse strings. So thank you for helping me spread the good word.
For sure. I love the work that you're doing. And look for more podcast episodes with more amazing women at AlignWomenPodcast.com.
Thanks for listening to the AlignWomen podcast. You can find more episodes with more amazing women at AlignWomenPodcast.com and visit AlignWomen.org to learn more about our leadership and networking organization. This is Amy Evans, and you've been listening to the AlignWomen podcast.